Easy now, how are we all doing? How are you doing, Bri?
Really good, you?
Oh, over the moon, over the moon.
Yeah.
Champions League official. How does it feel?
The champions!
What a week, what a season. Did you really think we'd be sat here at the end of the season? Well, not even the end of the season, there's a game to spare. That's how impressive it is, a game to spare.
The channel has brought me joy this season.
Oh, God.
So happy.
Can you actually believe it, though?
I can't. I know I was joking about it at the start.
Well, you wasn't, because you had you down as like
Well,
eighth.
I did have us.
Even your delusion was capped.
Yeah.
It was like your delusion was controlled at the start of the season. Champions League football.
I cannot wait to hear that blasting out at St James's.
It is the greatest anthem ever, isn't it? Well, if you're in it, it is. If you have to listen to it and you're not in it, it's tragic.
We're going to be in it for the foreseeable now.
What a week, though. What a week. We went to Old Trafford. Bryce finally admitted he's actually a United fan.
We got free corporate tickets, so I went on a scouting mission to scout Chelsea out for our last game.
How bad are Chelsea, by the
Oh,
way?
awful. They remind me of Derby County in 2008.
Well, I seen a thing on Facebook the other day. It said, which Premier League team is worse this season? Frank Lampard's Everton or Frank Lampard's Chelsea? They're terrible, aren't they?
They were awful. They can't defend to save their lives.
Well, I generally was a bit nervous because you just don't know what can happen. But
I thought it would be a close game, but it wasn't.
well, when you read the team lineups on the drive down, I was like, it's 3 points. Like, how have you spent 600 million and that is your starting 11?
It's awful.
It was a and they're even worse in real life. They've got nothing.
Their bench was stronger than their team, in my opinion.
Well, on paper, but obviously they've not been doing it, have they?
I mean, at their bench, they had Mendy, Koulibaly, Pulisic, Ziyech.
Thiago Silva.
He's injured.
Or is he?
Felix, who came
João
on and
Felix.
scored, yeah.
Comfortable
They're
game.
awful.
Comfortable
It
game.
was.
And after 8 months of slagging Casemiro off, how do you feel watching it live?
He's still very slow, but his positional play is very good.
Can we just talk about that pass?
It was decent.
Because
pass.
that was right.
That was the
from
only
us.
moment of the game I applauded.
No. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Apart from when you stitched me up when they were singing "Stand Up If You Want the Glazers Out," and I was sat down, and he said, "Brian,
You need to stand up, yeah. You've got to stand up.
Well, I stood up in solidarity of when we had Mike Ashley.
But what a pass that was. I mean,
it was a good pass.
I've watched it back on telly, and it doesn't do it justice. Live, it was just incredible.
It was a very good
Phenomenal pass. And he's proper stepped up for us. He's had a bit of dip in form, but he got the winner against Bournemouth, the opening goal against Chelsea. He made the second goal.
My favourite moment of the game was when Eriksen and Bruno were replaced by McTominay and Fred, and the United of old. We're on the pitch for a little bit. All it needed was Maguire.
When João Felix just trotted through the middle, like completely unmarked and untracked.
Oh, God.
Easy win. Easy win. And
We'll, if we don't put 3 past Chelsea,
you should beat them. They're horrendous. And it was a bit of an anticlimax.
although we've got a few injuries.
Because Chelsea were that bad. We knew from the first whistle we were going to beat them.
Yeah.
So like, I wanted it to be like a bit of a last minute winner carnival atmosphere, but they were that bad. Everyone in the stadium just knew they were that bad, and even the Chelsea fans, and they knew it was done.
Well, it's always been a feisty game. I put about 10 bets on. One of them was printing money. Casemiro for 1 shot on target and a foul.
How is that even a bet? Casemiro to foul someone?
I took it and won.
As they're saying, we'll give you odds of Wout Weghorst not scoring.
But yeah, in a game that's notorious for being quite feisty, there was, I think, 1 booking.
Well, I said to you, didn't I? Because Chelsea have got no passion.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't tackle.
It's awful.
They don't foul or anything.
And Lampard's just stood there like, not a clue.
And what I noticed from Lampard, he was applauding really bad play. Like, I don't know if it's
like they're obviously working on something.
Like they'd pass it 3 times and he would applaud it.
Yeah.
Like, has it really come to that point where you're applauding 3 passes? But we scored 4. I mean, it could have been 7 or 8. Like if our attackers could make better decisions in the final third, it could have been 7 or 8. Easy pickings. And it's easy to say now we're sat down here, but it was never in doubt. And we're going to finish 3rd above you. How do you feel about that?
Well, I still don't know if you will. Can Fulham get in Europe?
No, I think everything's set in it. It's only the relegation that can still still change. I think virtually everything else, give or take a couple of mid-table teams, is done, isn't it? Yeah, Liverpool and Villa are guaranteed. Liverpool and Brighton are guaranteed. They can maybe get in the conference, can they?
No, they can't.
They fell right down.
Fulham game. So
the only thing you might have a
third.
chance. Obviously, I imagine we're going to rest everyone for the FA Cup final.
Yeah, but we've got bare injuries. Pope's out, Joe Linton's out, Willock's out.
Imagine after a week of you saying how terrible Chelsea are if they turn you over.
Yeah, but if they do, it'll be because our second string squad's out, which is still Championship.
Would you have rather had it in the bag now or clinched it on the final day?
Definitely now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to a final day.
No.
And I have noticed all the salty Scousers are now bringing back the 7-Up memes.
Yeah. And saying that we're lucky. Because the Premier League's not a 38-game season.
The right outcome, United and Newcastle deserve it. We've virtually been in the top 4 all season.
We have. I don't think we've dropped out the top 4 ever.
Maybe not. No, because you had a right good start. Because they kept saying you're not going to stay there, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think we did start because we lost our first 2 games.
You were 6th or 7th at one point.
Well, no, we were 20th after 2 games. Yeah. Rock bottom.
But I don't think. I'll watch the videos back later but I don't think we've ever dropped out the top 4.
No, you have been there for a
So
long
for
time.
Liverpool fans to say we're lucky, Salt Bay.
Oh my God. To be fair though, it's a good job they did beat us 7-0 because otherwise Brighton would have probably caught them.
And what would they have had to moan about then?
Oh God. What a season though. Champions League football. Oh, the Champions League anthem we'll be playing, which we basically got a bit overexcited and we were playing the Champions League anthem on the drive home. And because we were so excited and we were getting
in the moment,
shivers down our spines, we missed our junction and had to go all the way to Rotherham and back.
Good times.
My first aid instinct kicked in the ground when someone collapsed and I shouted
first aider and then disappeared into the crowd.
We need a first aider. I'm off back up. I did my bit, saved that guy's life.
And I watched the paramedics treat him while supping a beer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not St James's Park, but it's not a bad stadium. We had the atmosphere is nowhere near.
Your favourite moment was when you thought that guy was going to start on me and then told me how big my arms were.
You are strong.
You are strong, mister.
Do you know him? No. And then I had to contend with the walk home with about 4 Man U fans next to us slating Newcastle. Me walking like a little school kid.
You bottled it, didn't you?
Well, in front of 10,000 Man U fans.
73,000.
Yeah, how many of them are real Man U fans? The 2 that went with us. We went corporate tickets. 4 of us. There was only 1 United fan. The other 2 were Leeds and Huddersfield.
Yeah, well, what does that tell you? Everyone wants to go to Old Trafford. Everyone wants to go to Old Trafford.
The Leeds fan was in more trouble than me.
Nobody. Yeah, he was. He was proper proud about it. And when he was like, I was like, mate, who do you follow? I'm a Leeds fan, mate. It's like,
I was like, okay.
You are in the East Stand. We're not in the away end.
But thank you to Castrol for this opportunity.
Yeah, well done, Castrol. Much appreciated.
We give shout outs where it's due.
Unlike the Carabao Cup, scumbags.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not over yet. We can still win a cup double.
Oh yes. However, injury.
Anthony
is rearing.
Well, I actually said I said he needs to get up, but I soon realised he's in a bit of a pain. That was
what we did from our scouting mission. We did say that Sancho's better on the right.
Well, we bought him as a right-sided attacker, and one thing I've noticed with Sancho when you watch him live, because you do see the game a bit different.
He's slow, isn't he?
He's not particularly quick, but we don't play in a way that benefits him. So a lot of our strikers, like Rashford, is very erratic. He doesn't want to keep the ball in terms of possession. He wants to run and shoot. Bruno is very erratic and he wants to just try stuff all the time. And also, if you're picking out Haaland or Alvarez, it makes your job easy. Sancho spent all year trying to pick Wout Weghorst out.
But I'm convinced now from watching him live that he's not a Manchester United player.
This is what I'm saying.
Because you have Eriksen, Bruno and Casemiro. Well, Casemiro not so much, but Eriksen and Bruno love pinging it into the corners for like Rashford to run onto or Martial. Sancho's not got the pace.
But
the amount of times you could have got through, but Sancho's pace cost you, or he slowed the game down.
But he's all about little 1-2s and little passes and looking for. We don't play that.
No, you don't.
We
This
are
is what I'm
trying.
saying.
He's
Yeah,
trying to.
yeah.
I think that's how he wants to play.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help when your two options are Tony Marshall and Weghorst, does it? Like,
Yeah, no. I mean, for as good as you say Bruno is, he literally does get the ball and then just ping it.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Every time. Like, his first instinct is up and over.
How upset are you that you didn't get to see Wout Weghorst live?
Very. When they made that last substitution and brought Fred and McTominay on.
You did get to see
rage was
McTominay
real.
live, though. He nearly scored, actually.
Yeah, he did. Scouting him for next year, I've decided.
Oh, yeah, he's your man, yeah.
No, he's
although
not.
when Leicester go down, there's a whole midfield you could sign there. Madison, Tielemans and Didi.
What we're saying with Kane, are you still confident, or are there Neymar rumours?
We
gonna
won't
come
sign
true?
Neymar. You've got more chance of signing Neymar.
Well, apparently we're signing Ronaldo, which
Where's
is
that
doing
come
the
from?
rounds. at the minute.
90minutes.com.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening.
Apparently, because we are owned by Saudis, they've promised him Champions League football.
God, that would be a mistake.
It would be awful.
Callum Wilson's a better player at this
Well, he
stage.
is.
In this stage in their careers, Callum. If
He
we'd have
wouldn't
had,
get in our team.
if we'd have had Callum Wilson this year, we'd have done a madness.
Yeah.
Now he's fit week in week out. Callum Wilson is decent,
I've been saying this all along.
but he's just never fit, is he?
The knowledge.
Never
The
fit.
true knowledge.
Who do you want to play in the Champions League next year? Where's the one team you want to come to St James's?
Barcelona or Madrid.
What about
100%.
Maccabi Haifa?
Partizan Belgrade.
Because you'll be seeded quite low, won't you?
We will. We'll end up with like.
You could be in the group
we'll
of
end up
death,
with
you
one of the
could.
Milans, probably PSG, and one of the big Spanish.
You could be in the
teams.
group of death. Imagine if you qualified through that. Can you draw Liverpool? Oh, no, one can.
no.
Sorry.
Not in the groups.
Well, they've now
Knowledge.
decided that the Europa League is the one trophy they haven't won, and that they really want to win it.
There's always a silver lining. isn't
Yeah.
there?
We've not seen anyone, though. We've not had any visits. Jordan
No.
Campbell, quick shout out. Although last time I shouted him out, he threatened to sue me for data protection. He hasn't been in, has he? Your mate Phil Webb's not been in.
Oh no.
No.
He won't be playing pool on Thursdays anymore.
Harry Barrett, he don't want to come in anymore, does he? Crystal and Eve, not heard it from Crystal and Eve. It's funny that.
No, in fairness to Crystal Eve, he has messaged me a lot about how well Newcastle have done this year.
Yeah, but he's got no beef with Newcastle, has he?
Yeah, but
Beef
that's what I'm
with United.
saying. I've not got beef with Crystal Eve.
Well, because what I can't understand in my head, right? If we beat Liverpool 7-0, obviously I would celebrate it. But then if they won a trophy or two trophies and finished above us, I'd be like, what is good is me saying 7-0? Like, it's completely embarrassing. They're clearly better than us.
Yeah.
We're playing Europa League football. How can I then give them crap because we beat them? Like, it's a one game. Like, I would take getting thrashed by Liverpool once a year to finish above them every single year.
Yeah.
So, like, if Sunderland get promoted, well, they can't now, can they?
Not now.
But if
no,
they'd
it's
have gone,
Luton.
if they'd have gone up
Yeah.
and beat you, like the short-term pain would have been probably quite bad for you. But if then you'd have got Champions League football, you'd have been like, who cares?
And they got relegated.
Yeah, who cares? Who's the
does
joke
care?
really on?
No, it is a
It's
very
so
valid
frustrating.
point. And I mean, they're even getting us involved now because we've beat them. It's you've been lucky all season. How, Eddie? How? How have we been lucky?
You can't be
We've been
lucky.
in the top 4 all season.
You can't be lucky over
You
38 games.
would have been. They would have been incredibly lucky if they'd have got top 4. Well, whoopie do. You've won 6 in a row, and then bottled it at Villa.
Oh, Unai Emery, what a guy!
He is a decent manager.
Well, since he took over, isn't he second for points?
I believe so.
I'm
yeah.
sure there's only Pep who's got. Do you know Pep's never got a Manager of the Month award in the Premier League?
Really?
Never. I mean, this has come from an unofficial source, so again, I could be wrong.
Well, if Eddie Howe doesn't get Manager of the Year, there's going to be pure rage.
Well, I think we should do a separate video on this, but I think you've definitely got a point
Yeah.
there. Definitely got a point. It won't be Mikel Arteta, will it? What a bottle
Oh
job!
God!
They are the bottle
What is
jobs.
happening in London? London is not the place to be for football anymore.
No.
It's changing.
Manchester
the
and
north,
up north, yeah, Midlands and North. That's
North.
where it's at. The powerhouses.
Yeah, literally the top 4. Well, apart from Arsenal, but they won't be next year. Will be the North. Liverpool will probably be
Back to
in
the
it.
90s.
Yeah.
Newcastle and United challenging.
Will we sign the next Espria?
Fastio Aspria. Anyway, to be fair, tomorrow's a bit nothing, isn't it? Like, it's nothing. 3rd or 4th, but really.
I can even see him like giving people like Louis Smiley some game time, who's like an one of our prospects.
Because now you don't qualify. They're in the qualifying round for finishing fourth. I think in terms of your prize money, you might get like £1 million more for finishing third rather
It
than
doesn't
fourth.
matter to us, that does it?
Really, who cares?
Yeah. Does that matter to us? No.
All right, Bill Gates. We will rest players because it's the cup final next week, so we will definitely rest players.
We probably will. There's no point risking an injury.
It's a bit of a boring last day of the season, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless you're in a relegation battle, which you could have been this 2 years ago, 18 months ago.
Those days are gone.
How does it feel?
It feels good.
You can chill on the last day of the season. You can listen to the Champions League anthem all day long
while watching the scores come in,
whilst drinking a Bacardi and thinking. Because to be fair, apart from Leeds, Everton, and Leicester,
there's nothing to play for.
Nobody has got anything to play for.
They haven't.
It's a bit
boring.
It's a bit of a boring last day of the season, isn't it?
Although it's been a very exciting season.
Oh, recently.
Yeah.
I've literally gone from the first 2 days of the 2 games going nuts.
Well, even the ups and downs on these videos.
Yeah.
2 months ago, after the Carabao Cup final, I was in depression about not getting in the top 4.
Well, 2 weeks ago when we lost back to back to Brighton and West Ham, I thought we'd blown it. But
What
Ten Hag,
season.
what a guy! What a guy!
And now there'll be more content next year.
The more content, there'll be at least. Oh, imagine if it was a Newcastle United final. What odds do you reckon you'd get on there?
Oh God!
Depends who.
We could retire.
Oh, I know what it won't.
We're going to get absolutely dictated. I'm not expecting anything. Like, I'm just happy to be in it.
It won't be a Liverpool Chelsea final.
No.
I'll tell you that for free. You might though. You might because.
No, we're not strong enough for that.
Although it is a different ballgame when you look at what City did to Madrid, and then you look at what Madrid did.
Although we battered City. Is the Champions League coming home?
It's a different. I mean, we go into the Champions League as I reckon United will probably be 7th favourite. Like for United, that's embarrassing because you're going to look at Barcelona and Madrid more favourite, PSG more favourite, City more favourite.
Probably even the
to be fair,
teams, yeah.
No, I reckon we'd probably be about 5th
Reckon.
favourites. Italian football's not very good, is it? Let's face it.
I don't think we'd be the worst team in it because you have got your dynamo abilities.
It depends who you sign.
Yeah.
It depends who you sign. Well, you might do a madness. I mean, if you
we
drop
won't do a madness,
3
but-
mint players in that team, you could do a madness.
Who knows?
But it'll be interesting because, like West Ham, or even us in the Europa League, a good European run can probably
Yeah,
back
it
your
can,
league form.
yeah,
Next,
yeah.
you might struggle next year.
We
You some
need
squad
we
depth.
need 4 or 5 players.
That's why you're going after McTominay, squad depth, European experience.
No thanks.
Right, should we call it there?
We call it there.
Bit of an anticlimax, really, because it was very.
An anticlimax to the video, but not to the season.
No, not to the season.
Yeah.
No.
We
It was
are
done
happy.
as soon as Villa drew with Liverpool.
Are we still going to do one next week?
Yeah, we can do a. We'll do a team of the season.
Yeah. Yes.
And then we can do a.
Oh,
match.
we need to bring up our predictions and see who's won that as well.
Well, I predicted Jadon Sancho for top assister. That didn't happen. Although I did predict United to finish 3rd,
I think you did, yeah.
and it's going to happen. But that was behind Liverpool, which won't happen. Didn't you predict Spurs for 2nd?
Might have done.
Oh, I can't remember who I said would go down. I think I got them wrong. Well, I'll get it up and that's a good video. Actually.
we'll
a season
we'll
review.
that,
That is what we'll do.
A season review next
I'm
week.
sure you went with Haaland as top scorer.
I did, and De
Although-
Bruyne was top assister.
Yeah, so you got that right.
Yeah.
But
Knowledge.
special mention to Harry Kane because I don't reckon Haaland scores the amount of goals for Spurs as what Kane will.
Probably not.
And I reckon Kane would score the amount of goals for City. Anyway, we'll see you in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Liverpool fan, unless you're a Spurs fan, unless you're a Chelsea fan. Well, Spurs haven't got anything, have they?
No.
No. Spurs or Chelsea haven't got out.
No, Spurs have got your UEFA conference. Yeah.
Good one. That's basically the Bob Bedford Cup
Yeah.
of Sunday League. Right, we'll catch you next week.